What is up, everybody? Welcome to Truth and Transparency, making sure everybody can hear. Delphi, Indiana, headed, documenting, tailgating for the truth, Truth and Transparency, investigative journalism at its finest. Baldwin said, "Hey, journalists, if you think you're something, time is now." I can already tell you that I probably forgot half the shit I needed. Um, but when you have a phone charger and you got power, you got something.
Hey, thanks for the ad.
You're welcome.
Thanks
What's
for
up? How you
the
feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, especially since the trial is finally gonna start soon. So
All right. So what are your predictions here? It's 3 days of jury selection in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
oh, today's the jury selection, but when does the actual trial start?
Well, I'm I'm a sports person, so I think tip off is going to start on Monday, but it could be as early as, Friday, but I think tip off
Friday.
for opening statements will be on Monday of next week. I think that travel for the jury, remember that this jury will be sequestered, so they're coming from Allen County, which is in Fort Wayne. They will load up and then travel uh, and be sequestered in Delphi in Carroll County. And I think that's going to start, the trial's going to start on Monday, because I believe that anything that has to do with pending motions, that will take place on uh, Thursday and Friday, and then we'll have the trial. It could possibly start on Saturday the way that she's running this ship, but
Ugh.
my
Next
prediction's
week,
Monday.
next week. Seriously, I think we waited long enough. I think 6 years is more than long enough. But whatever.
So do you think when it's all said and done that
I, 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 I don't know, and I don't
that,
care.
that they will show enough to convict Richard Allen, or are we going to see an acquittal?
I don't know.
All right, that's okay. You don't have to know. No feelings though. No opinions.
I,
If you
I,
were a juror, what would you want to see in order to convict?
I only care about the trial starting soon. That's what.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you popping on here. Have a good day, hon.
Wait. So, so do you think during the trial we'll also finally be able to see what they discovered in?
Again, good afternoon. Ohio and Indiana kiss each other, so I pinned the link for a reason. If you have something that you want to add to the journey, now's your chance. For me, I had the opportunity the last time I was in Fort Wayne for March 20, what was it, March, I don't know, 19th, 18th hearing. I had the opportunity the night, I can't remember if it was before or after, to express my gratitude to the defense team, because whether or not Richard Allen is, people out in the community want to say he's guilty or not guilty, it's about, for me, seeing two lawyers and their team just do an absolute phenomenal job advocating for their clients. That's how it's supposed to be. At every turn, Richard Allen's defense team has been there for him to bring him the best possible legal defense, and we don't see that enough in the United States of America, especially when you're dealing with public defenders. Baldwin is a Akron Zip alum, so I want to give much love to the Zips for producing such a fine human being. It's truly unfortunate when we sit back and we either have been part of the justice system at one time or another, as whether a plaintiff or a defendant or a juror. It truly takes a lot to make our justice system work effectively, and it's a breath of fresh air to see that Richard Allen, regardless on what the judge has done, regardless on what the mainstream media has said, Richard Allen's defense team has grinded like I've never seen in all the years, and been a part and advocated for our criminal justice system. I've never seen a criminal defense team do what they've done against all odds at every turn. So I don't believe that Richard Allen's defense team is getting enough credit. But those guys could defend me any day of the week, and I would just know that, like, my life, the life of my loved ones, they're in the best hands. And so let's see what we got. Woo! Guests. How my Cleveland Browns doing? Well, we know they're 1-4. All right, let's talk about the case. My car is jam-packed with I don't even know how many watts of power we have. 2 DJ commercial speakers, 3 soundboards, a Nancy Grace pop-up table, 2 pumpkins, one for Libby, one for Abby. What else? Fuck yeah, the bell came. We got the bell. The Delphi complete file, any piece of paper that I've printed off since I covered Delphi, which was right before the Idaho 4 case. So 2 years. It's in my car. It's a shame that this is not public viewing. It's totally a shame. It's not how it should be. Like, this should be illegal. It should be illegal to deny cameras in a courtroom where the public definitely has an interest. The public has an interest in corruption. The public has 100% an interest in corruption. And corruption has been basically like screaming from the rooftops of the defense team that our rights have been violated. Because if you violate one person's rights, you violate all of our rights. And if you don't believe that statement, then I don't know how your brain works. But But that's what's been alleged in this case. And so therefore the public has a strong interest, not just if you're in Indiana, because we had people working on the Delphi case that are from other agencies across the United States of America. So therefore the interest is not just in Indiana. The interest is in the country. And we have a strong interest as people. We the people have a strong interest in seeing the truth for our own eyes, and that's just being denied. And I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. All I gotta say is, JLR, what the fuck's up, motherfucker? Come on in, folks. Come on in. Don't be shy. Spread it far and wide. Round the clock coverage here. The coverage should be for the victims. I do believe that the sentencing phase is for the victims and the families, but the guilt phase belongs to the defendant, the person that's being accused. That's what the guilt phase is designed for, and I'm advocating for the truth, whatever it may be. I have no, I want to say skin in this game. I don't know anybody personally, but I have skin in the game of life. I have skin in the game of, I'm a United States citizen. I believe in our Constitution. I believe in our rights. And it's unfortunate that mainstream media, you know, the news, people only want to cover like a 2-minute segment and say, Richard Allen is going to be calling Keegan Kline to the stand. Get the fuck up out of here, man. That's what you're putting out there, man. Come on. That's not even true. He's on the witness list. And if you've been following this case, you should be asking yourselves, wait, how is Keegan Kline even going to be called? Because I thought we can't even say the name Keegan Kline. I mean, come on. It's absolutely ridiculous. Laughable. Like, that's what the fuck you put out a 2-minute segment for. Well, we don't know what else to say because we don't even know the case. That should just tell you, and that's all you're hearing. Like, that's just people not knowing the case. How do you cover something like that's? Like a sports announcer decides that, hey, I'm going to go cover the Duke North Carolina game, and I don't know anything about it because I don't know anything about these teams. I don't know anything about what's going on in the NCAA, world this year. But I'm going to cover. Get the fuck up out of here. Research. That's part of your job. Is to research. Is to educate yourself. But that's why nobody's talking about stuff mainstream wise, because they don't want to take the time to do that. Let's just copy off of our neighbor. We're just going to send in a correspondent in there, and they're going to give us something. We'll put our little freaking van outside. It looks like a perv van. We're going to park that outside, show that we're there. We'll be there for a couple minutes, get some footage, get some B-roll footage, as Judge Gull says, and all right, we'll be out of there. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But that's not the kind of coverage I plan on bringing. But in order for me to be able to bring you guys coverage like this and make it worth all of our whiles, so that we can, is to please share it, like it, subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out a lot of clips, whether they're shorts, whether they're just lives that are maybe 10 minutes or 2 hours, whether I leave my vehicle running with a spotter and all cameras on. So I don't know, but if you want to, that's how you can help. I did pin the link, so woo. The last time, let's see, I was in the courtroom in March, like I said, of 2020. What was it? 2024. But a case that I covered in Pennsylvania, the Sheldon Jeter Jr. trial. I was traveling from Ohio to Pennsylvania back and forth, working exclusively and still do with the family of Sheldon Jeter Jr. That's the Rachel Del Tondo unsolved murder, as well as the murder of Tyreek Pugh, star athlete, Sheldon Jeter Jr. football player, basketball player, star athlete, was a person of interest in the murder of Rachel Del Tondo, who was a well-known, beautiful teacher in the area of Aliquippa, and she was engaged at one time to Frank Atropa, he called himself like the Wolf of Aliquippa. He just got arrested though for beating the shit out of his girlfriend and slapping their kid around. I'll be covering his preliminary hearing. Nobody's been arrested for the Rachel Del Tondo murder, but they were trying to get Sheldon on and be able to pin that on him. And Rachel was deathly afraid of the cops before her murder. She was gunned down in front of her parents' driveway. They emptied a clip in her. If you guys don't know the name, Google it, check it out. I have a playlist, a bunch of videos here. I was featured on ABC, NBC, whatever affiliates in out of Pittsburgh for the case with the family. I was able to find that one of the jurors was the neighbor of Rachel Del Tondo and friend of the family that was on Sheldon's case with the Tyreek Pugh. She was part of the jury, and I was able to break that story. I double scooped it because not only was Rachel Del Tondo's neighbor, like literally the next door neighbor on that jury, she also was family tied in with her husband and related to on Sheldon's side, but they were estranged from each other, and they weren't very honest with their voir dire, if you want my opinion. But I was able to break that story back in 2021. But it's like, how do you even send out questionnaire to anybody that would live on the street Buchanan, knowing that that's the street? Like, it's such a small area that why would you even send when you would see somebody's address and that would tie back to that even street is beyond me. So I got to firsthand see from the perspective of looking around a courtroom and seeing jurors nodding off, a bailiff sleeping. The judge in that case married the juror, and they had a picture of it. I found it online. I mean, just wild ass shit. And an innocent black 23-year-old male sentenced to life without the possibility of parole didn't do it, framed by one and only the Pennsylvania State Police. I mean, I can literally prove it all. I've proved it all on my channel. I did it all with science. I did it all with the discovery. And not one motion was filed on behalf of Sheldon's team. You know how many motions have been filed in this case? Think about that. Unbelievable that Sheldon would ever, like, I mean, it's disgusting. Not a motion filed. Oh, I think they did a suppression hearing. You know, just because, hey, well, we'll throw some stuff in here. Let's try to suppress this gun. Okay. I mean, you could just go look at the court docket, and there's just no advocacy. No, his attorneys didn't even open up the motherfucking discovery. Because if you would have just opened it up, you would have seen what I saw. Because it's just popping out at you. Because it was a staged crime scene. that it was a secondary location and that she was totally, completely framed. Because who the fuck sleeps with a murder weapon? If you just killed somebody, you're going to go home and put the gun underneath your mattress, and then the cops come to see you, and then they leave, and then you still don't remove the murder weapon? You just can't be that dumb, but think that he was so smart to kill Rachel and leave and pick up shell casings. I mean, give me a fucking break. So it's just so... So yeah, I'm passionate about people getting fucked over. You know, if you're so big and you're so bad and you got all this evidence and that you have the right person, it's like playing the game of Monopoly. You don't have to fucking cheat, all right? You got all the money, buy your fucking hotels, build your houses, pay for them, do it all the right way, and win your case. But when something looks like shit, smells like shit, it is motherfucking shit. And we as American citizens, we pay these people's salaries. We have a say, y'all. We do. Yes, we do. We have a say. It's just whether or not you want to open up your mouth and have a say. Well, so I have a say about this shit. Because I have a kid. I have a little boy. And I know a lot of people are moms and dads and grandparents and aunts and uncles and woo! So, jury selection. I have no idea what to expect. This is my first ever sitting in, hopefully, and being able to document it all. I mean, I'm talking about height, weight, eye color, what you look like, what your juror number is. I would never dox anybody. I would never, like, you have your right to be anonymous. That's what this is supposed to be. But we also have a right to make sure that you aren't shady. So we're going to hold you accountable if we see anything shady over the course of the trial. That's all. So I want to know what occupations people are. I want to know the questions that they ask. I want to know the answers that people supply. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what you guys say. It matters what this jury is going to say. And after seeing what happened in the Karen Reed case, if that case could not garnish Karen Reed a fucking not guilty vote across the board for the mere fact that the Commonwealth failed on every fucking level, and that every fucking Commonwealth witness said that John was not on the lawn when they left, that you would have to go into that jury deliberating room and say, guys, every single Commonwealth witness said that there was no body there. There was no body there when they left. So if we're going to believe them when they say that nobody named John O'Keefe or his description walked in that mofo, then we have to believe them when they say that him and his description were not on the front lawn laying there where he would have been if Karen Reed would have hit him with a vehicle at that time. And that alone is acquittal across the board. How you fucking do anything other than that, it tells me, I don't need to know your name. I don't need to know what you do for a living. All I need to know is that you are a fucking moron. And you have no business deciding and having somebody's life in your motherfucking hands. So keep your fucking ass home. And when you are asked to come for jury duty and they ask you questions, you raise your hand and you say, I'm not going to lie. I am the last person that you want to have on this jury because I can't remember shit. I'm biased. I fucking don't want to be here. I don't care about this shit. Say it. because I think that there should be laws against you fucking with someone's life and being a juror. Bullshit. What is up? Let's add you to the stage here, Miss T.
Hey Lana, how are you?
Oh, just living the dream?
Yeah, going to Delphi case.
Yeah. Sure
Yeah,
am.
that's awesome. You know what, like, if any case should be allowed to be broadcast for people to see, it's this case. Just
Wouldn't you
because of
think?
all the, yeah, because of all the, all the shady stuff that's been going on with that case. And you know what got me thinking is the following. I watched the Menendez brothers documentary last night on Netflix, and I started thinking, I'm like, this whole situation, I believe their second trial was not televised based on what I was, if I was, based on what
Yeah.
I can recollect from that. And that they said the whole battered women syndrome situation with them didn't apply to them because they were males. I'm like, now we know, and at least now it's a little bit more in the open that males are victims of that stuff too.
Yeah, you're talking
So,
about the Mendez brothers?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that they 100% have
So,
served their time and they should be coming home. I agree.
yeah, so to me, like this case and the Idaho 4 case, I think about it, I'm like, these cases there has to be some kind of mandate or something federal, right? Where they're required to, because I believe there's a lot of corruption. I believe, especially with the bigger cases, a lot of these prosecutors and, law enforcement, they kind of push narratives that are not correct and misinformation. And, regardless of where you fall when it comes to the political stuff, I think Trump, especially with all the stuff he's been through, with his whole, trials and cases and all this stuff, I think he, from all the presidents, if he goes back in office, he might be more receptive to, hearing the people say, hey, like, there has to be some kind of mandate or something on the federal level to,
I like that. I like that. That's great. I like that, actually.
Yeah, because I work in this field. I've talked to you in the past about this, and
Yeah.
I see a lot of shady stuff. And prosecutors and law enforcement, they get away with it because a lot of the stuff is done in the dark. I think that's why
Yes.
Delphi is being done in the dark, is because Gall doesn't want the people in general, to see what's going on with Richard Allen, because they're trying to railroad him. It's pretty obvious what they're trying to do, so for me, it's like, if we get people into office that kind of understand, because maybe they've been through it, they might be more receptive to it. So, I'm going to hopefully do some
Yeah.
volunteer stuff for Trump, and hopefully talk to some people of his and just like be like, hey, this is something that's
This
going
needs
on.
to
He's been
change.
through it. Yeah, it
Yeah,
has to
this
change.
needs to change.
Because
Yeah, like
prosecutors...
Yeah,
Go ahead, girl. Sorry.
well, no, I think that you're absolutely right, because also, like, the world, like, the times have changed, okay? The
Mm-hmm.
times have changed, okay? And we have the ability that if you don't want the, Channel 4 or Channel 8 or whoever to have, like, a pool camera. We're seeing it right now that let the courts have the camera with their YouTube channel, you know what I mean? And then it's just streamed from like that setting. And I just think that, why? The question for me is, I want to hear your argument. Okay? If I want you to orally argue to me why having the cameras in that courtroom is an issue. Because I want to hear it. I want to hear your arguments about that. Okay? And then we can go from there. But when I just hear stuff just being denied without any explanation, we the people, I have a problem with that. Every single person should have a problem with that. Like, you're not my mommy and my daddy when you can just say, no, you're not going to do that, and I don't have to tell you why. Okay? I'm your mom, and you're not doing it. You know what I mean? We all heard that when we were growing up, okay? But that you're not my mommy, you're not my daddy. Okay? The
Yeah.
government isn't our daddy.
Exactly. And it comes down to the whole freedom of speech situation too, where, we have to be able to see that our rights as citizens are being honored via like the amendments and so on, right? And like I said, following all these true crime cases now, especially Delphi, this case in particular, like really bothers me because I'm like, it has to do with justice for two little girls that were brutally, unalived, right?
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be about railroading someone just to get it over with and say, oh, look, we caught the bad guy, he was convicted, and so on. It should have to do with making sure you're getting the right people, having full disclosure to the public, so the people also have the peace of mind of knowing, okay, if he's convicted, it's because, because it truly was deserved. In this situation, there's been so many like awkward rulings, so much crazy stuff going on that I know I don't trust Judge Gall to make the right calls. I feel as well that a
Well,
lot of juries now also are pressured to vote a certain way, right? Especially with cases
yeah.
like this.
And don't you feel like if you're going to subject somebody to the death penalty, okay? So if you're like, if that could be a possible punishment, right? You don't think that we the people, like you just want to let the government kill people and not know why? Come on. Like that's unfucking believable to me.
Yeah, I
Like I
agree.
think every case
Is
that's
this
facing the death penalty across the board, it's an automatic, it's on. Like every death penalty case, it's automatic streaming because
yeah.
we're gonna see this. Like you just like you're gonna I just woo.
Yeah, no,
And
I get it, girl. Is this a death penalty case? I
I was
don't
just
recall
saying
hearing that it is.
I was just saying that as like a across the board. You know what I mean? Not that it was be this case. I'm just saying across the board. If somebody, any cases where you're facing the death
Oh yeah.
penalty, it should be across the board automatically streamed. Automatically, it's
I
like you don't have a
I
choice not to have it on on cameras.
Yeah. So what I want to do is the following. I would need probably a couple of weeks because I'm super busy, but I would love to do some kind of like change.org or something where a bunch of people can sign to where it can be considered on the federal level to mandate the live streaming of any type of cases. It should be disclosed, right? So people can view it. We have a right to know what's going on in our criminal justice system. So
Yeah.
I would love, like, once I do that, I'll message you and let you know. So if people want to consider signing it, that way I can gather some signatures too. That way I can go ahead and hopefully talk to someone in Trump's campaign and be like, hey, this is something, like President Trump's been through it. It's very important to be open with these type of things. He's not
Yeah,
the only one that's
transparent.
been in that hot seat. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's good. And
Use
I
it to
literally
our
think
advantage if he gets in. Use it to our advantage if he gets in. That he would be, somebody that would be receptible to seeing that through.
exactly. It's just we need changes, Lana. This shit's been going on
100%.
way too long. And like I said, we don't know, right? We won't know until trial whether or not someone's guilty, but they should be presumed innocent. And unfortunately, because of the
100.
media, the way they hide
100.
everything, people
Yeah.
don't see the reality of things. And when this Delphi case is over, if it's not broadcasted, which obviously it looks like it's not going to happen. I don't think she's going to change her mind in a couple of days here. People are going to go with that whole idea of listening to Nancy Grace, like, oh, they got this person, right? The same thing they've been doing to Koberger. And I don't think it's right because it messes with everybody's rights. And we never know if us as citizens or someone we love could be put in that situation. And that's how so many people get railroaded, is because they don't have the notoriety of the cases, right? Delphi and the Idaho Force, because they're big, right? They're national level, but most international even, right? But most people don't have that
100.
So
That
that's my
spotlight.
thoughts on that. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it happens often, unfortunately. Like I said, I've worked in criminal law. I work in the law field, but not in criminal law. But like I've seen, especially defendants, especially low income, low means that have public defense attorneys, they're bombarded with cases. They can't put in their full efforts most of the time into certain cases. And then when you review some of these cases, you realize those people really got screwed. And it's really, really sad, because if they had the money, they had attorneys that could really, really do great work, Baldwin and Rosie are doing with this case. They're
Yeah,
amazing. They're
amazing.
amazing. They are the exception. So
And they
that's
shouldn't
the
be,
sad
and that's and
reality
that's
of things.
and that's the thing that's bad, is that they shouldn't be the exception. They should be the example. This is how you should be doing your job. So like that's like the other like part that I get mad about, is I'm just like, you guys, there shouldn't be these exceptions. There should be like, this is how it's done. You know, this is how it's done. And I think that more defendants should be winning on their motions when they file for ineffective assistance of counsel. You know, like um, because but see, the justice system is this little ring around the rosy, and your judges and your lawyers are all friends, right? And so
Exactly.
you know
If I can share a quick case, girl, I befriended an inmate who went in when he was really young. He was like 15 when he committed this crime, and I believe 17 when he got convicted. So he was one of the clients of the criminal law firm I worked for. And I read over his file, and I was like, what the hell so this is a crazy thing. So this kid, right, he committed a crime, and it was gang related, and it was rival gang situation where the rival gang went into his gang's territory, and they did what gangsters do, right, or gang members do, which is they shoot at each other. So they went ahead. This kid was 15 when he committed the crime. The prosecution, and because the defense did such a shitty job, they literally gave him 97 years of a de facto life sentence. 97 years is de facto life. That's basically what it is. I was so mad when I saw that, because I was like, he was like really young, so youth wasn't considered when they convicted him. Youth wasn't considered. They didn't even bring up the whole self-defense potential there, because these were rival gang members that had gone there and were threatening them, and he basically fired at them. I'm not condemning what he did. Obviously, killing anyone is wrong, but you look at the circumstances of what happened. So it was already obvious, okay, he did it. But what were the reasons behind it? These rival gang members, they were known to go into these territories and kill other people. So it's basically like, why didn't the defense attorney bring that up? Like, okay, these people are known to go and kill each other. That's what they do. These people were there. He feared for his life, his safety. He did what he had to do. None
yeah,
of that came up.
the mitigating and the
And
aggravator. Yeah.
yeah, none. So this kid is still sitting in the state I live in, 97 years, de facto life sentence, because they gave him gang enhancements, gun enhancements. He ended up killing one of the people, and then there was the others were he was hit for attempted murder because other people were in the car. So it's situations like that. I'm like, if he would have had money, if he would have had like a good attorney, it would have been a different situation, right? Where they would have been able to argue it. Obviously, he still would have gotten convicted because it's obvious he did it. But you know, Lana.
Whoopsie. Whoops. I think my phone died. I don't even know. Whoops. Happens. I love Miss T though. Miss T, sorry about that. It wasn't you, it was me. You know. So, whoopsie. JLR's gonna have to teach me. Then at all times you must have your phone plugged in. Sorry. This is gonna be the quickest drive ever if I just get to like bullshit the whole way. Miss T was saving my voice though. I don't appreciate that. I would say yeah. Thought it was a hot cop pulling me over for a second. I want a bottle of water. Water. We'll have some fun with it. I mean, come on. Does it really take, oh Jesus. Just a Sunday stroll lady, huh? Got nowhere to be. You can tell she's not going to meet her Tinder date. This is like being in a driving simulator. Yeah, man. Bringing you like, you're just doing it with me. Obviously, I'm not used to this whole, people are saying now that they're expecting it to be crazy and stuff here outside the courthouse, and I don't understand. I really don't. I don't know what that means. It should be nothing but love and support for, obviously the victims, and then people that are supporting, innocent until proven guilty. So, how anybody can have an issue with that? Fighting over that? I don't even fucking know, man. Live life. Get your ass up off your chair. Ooh. What's good, guys? Did the Browns win? That's all I care about. No, Chris. Only one time for each person, so sorry, Chris. Have a good day, though. Especially if you've never been on my channel before. Or comment in the comment section. Russell's Point, Lakeview. I mean, how do people live out in this area? I don't get it. I couldn't do it. Huntsville. I went a different route to come here because I wanted to see as much corn as possible. I didn't know that it was a thing, guys, so trigger warning. They have like corn with like corn. So I didn't know. I can't even believe. But yeah, you can use your brain and imagination. Mary P. What? I know, that's what I said. I just, you guys thing. One reason I had to come across that in my reports that I'm doing, it's at the porn stage of Brian Drake's life, so that's why I came up. You know, what people Google. Because everything that you Google, if your phone ever gets extracted, motherfuckers gonna know what you look up, right? And I thought to myself, I thought I saw it all until I saw that Brian Drake Google searched Arnold Schwarzenegger full frontal. Who even was this? And maybe they just wanted to see if it was true, like that he posed that way. I don't know. But in my prep to come out to Delphi, was going through like motions and timelines and who I can expect to see testifying for the state, Indiana, and then who we can expect to testify for the defense. It got me thinking about the state, and Nick, everything that I've seen from Nick has just been so, what's the word I want to use? Like, I don't know, half-ass, you know? So I'm just like, wait, do we really think that Nick is going to call like 75 witnesses, you know? And I'm like, no, I don't think he is. He's not. So what witnesses, if you were the prosecutor and you need to prosecute this case, look at it right there, guys, there it is. Fort Wayne! We're coming for that ass. You know, if you were the prosecutor in this case, how do you make your case to see a conviction? You know, when you start thinking about things in that capacity, that's the way that you can best defend. You know, what would you do if you were the prosecutor in this case? What's the order that you would present to the jury, okay, so that they can follow along and that they can see that there is no other way that anybody else did this except for Richard Allen? So, do you kick it off with Kelsey German? Do you go Kelsey, Derek, Becky, Mike? That way the family is not hearing other people's testimony, and you know. Lana is going to the Delphi case. Yeah. So yeah. Then, all right, we get past the family. We gotta talk about the search, you know. So, who's gonna be the person that's gonna be talking about the search? Who's gonna be testifying to finding the girls and setting up unified command? And then they're going to go through a little bit of their investigation and how they got to the point of all these years later, it's Richard Allen. The way that Nick likes to ask questions, and if Judge Gall is just gonna let him kind of do his thing, like if you're the defense team, I'm objecting to every single possible leading question, even the hint, you know. Do not let Nick McClelland lead these witnesses. We saw it in the Karen Reed case. They, you know, Alan Jackson, that was her game plan. They didn't object to shit. Go ahead. Lead away, because 100% Lally was leading. So if I'm part of that defense team, I'm like, there is no way that we're letting leading questions go. We cannot let them lead this jury because we're strapped. Judge Gall has strapped us. So we need to be on our A games. No leading questions. You're objecting. Objecting, don't let people speculate. They shouldn't be speculating. But Nick, the way that he likes to ask questions is he wants to get through things. Like there's no details with him. This isn't detailed Nick. Nick's not like, yeah, so I'd be on that. So you got Mullins, you got Liggett, Holman, yes, but let the state open as many doors so defense can jump in. Yeah, and I think that you're going to be able to do that though with the family more so. To be honest, because you're going to be able to ask the family, Anna Williams, was your daughter dating anybody at the time? And if they say objection, relevancy, like that's laughable. That's absolutely relevant. You think it's relevant what anybody's religion is? I'm just curious what you guys feel about that. Is it relevant? I'm on the Hoosier Heartland Highway. I just wanted to get them this way. I don't know. Let's see. Thanks, Sugar Tits. Appreciate it. Indian Lake, baby. It's a fun little area over here. Bell Fountain, Ohio. Bell Fountain. They got nice. It's called Indian Lake. People party. People put their boats out here. Little bars, little community. It's pretty cool. So, how much longer till we get there? A minute. An hour and 45 minutes, I think. Yeah. Of all the ways, Lana, you chose this way. Sure did. I want to hear the evidence talk to me here. I should turn on my Tinder app. See who's in the area. All right, let's talk about some cell phones, guys. So let's talk about some DNA. TNT's source, without a doubt, has said that, and then the paper trail of the money has proved this, that investigative genealogy was used in the Delphi case. 20 grand. Okay. There's DNA. That DNA at the crime scene, whether it's on a body, in a body, on something that's right by the bodies, it's there, and it is not Richard Allen's. What's up? How do you guys feel about that? Again, DNA is going to be present at that crime scene. Unknown DNA. They used efforts with IgG, spent 20 grand. The question is did they ever, do you think the defense ever got any of the makeup of the trees of that? Well, the efforts with IgG, you paid 20 grand. What'd you get back for it? Like, what'd you guys do? Let's see what we're looking at. Let's talk about that a little bit. Usually with that stuff, you get a couple different names coming back. Only reason I mention it is because in another case, it led them to the killer. So, so if that's good enough to convict somebody in another case, well, how is it not good enough to exonerate somebody in another case? Meaning that if, let's say that the sheath had DNA on it and it did not actually match Brian Kohlberger, but they ended up arresting somebody named Brian Kohlberger down the road, but here we have this unknown male DNA, the sheath, what's up? Like, that's like basically saying, well, your DNA though isn't on the sheath, so let's take a look at all this other evidence. Just a different way to think about it. So the jury's going to hear about DNA though, and that it's there. It's 100% there. It's foreign. It's not the girls. It's, we're going to find out where it was. But my question is if the state paid 20 grand, what did they get for 20 grand? What reports did they get? Did they get some trees? Did they get some family trees? What do we got here? Is that discoverable? Is it discoverable? And then the next thing is, okay, now we live in this digital world and we have phones. And the digital evidence, so it doesn't go with the timeline. So what's up? Does that matter? Fuck yeah, it matters. Because that's the type of shit that usually gets people convicted. So here, can it be used to, exonerate you then? And so we're talking about a guy, for all intents and purposes, all these web sleuths, nobody can have any links to Richard Allen's family, to any of the victims or their families or anything like that. So we're dealing with strangers here. Okay? But he himself said, hey, I was out at the bridge. I was out there that day. So you're saying somebody that had blood all over them, muddy and bloody, the next day or two decided, you know what, I'm going to tell people that I was there? Why would you ever do something like that? If you truly were the killer and you were muddy and bloody just walking up and down the highway. I mean, but you have to remember that this is before any video, all that shit. Any sketch. So it wasn't like we're just like, oh my God, that's me on the bridge. I got to come forward and claim. Nobody to this day has claimed the bridge guy. So And then normally if somebody comes forward and they say something like that and they're going to be on your radar, but you just don't think you have enough, you don't think you have enough, you'd be like seeing them over the course of the past years until you did arrest them. None of that took place. But yet here we come to this fucking bullet. Are we sure it's not a sexual toy out there? It's a bullet. But it wasn't in the probable cause for Ron Logan. Why wouldn't they put the bullet and mention the bullet if it was so pertinent to their case? The facts don't change in the case. They are what they are. So why wouldn't the bullet be in Ron Logan's probable cause? Eats and treats. Where is Layla going? Straight to fucking hell. I mean, doesn't the fucking name of the live say where I'm going? I just can't today. I need to go to church really quickly and pray for my sins. The Homestead store, baby. What's that? I'm going to a haunted house, motherfuckers. Don't worry about it. Welcome to Hoosierville. Delphi. I don't even know. Am I even getting service out here of the corn? Where is Lana going? It says it on the live. It says it like on the name of the title of the video. It's so flat. Yeah. Yeah, so I think to myself, I'm just like, well, how's the jury gonna take this? Like, when they hear this, like, just, wait, what? There's no murder weapon that we know of. There's no bombshells coming. I'm telling you that right now. But I have sources on both sides here saying that that we can expect a couple things that the public doesn't know about. And I said, that's fine. I'll see it when I believe it. You know, I still think that you're still gonna have to prove your timeline, the time of the crime. When I say timeline, I'm talking time of the crime. So I still, for me, like, I was asking people the other night, I said, you know, the families maybe jumped the gun on thinking that something was horribly wrong right away. I mean, like, there was a search, like, boom, like, you know, everybody's being called, versus the family thinking, you know, God damn it, you know, these girls, what the hell, they shut their phones off, or they, you know, they turn the phone, or they're not answering on purpose. Like, who do they really come and see? Like, you know, she's back at it again, trying to sneak around, hang out with boys, or something like that, you know, because this is a small community, so small, and the last thing you're thinking of is that somebody is in the woods in the middle of the day snatching up kids and killing them. So what do we think about that? And that might be a sensitive thing to say. Well, Atlanta, you're a mom. What would you say if you went to go pick up your kid? I would never think that if I went to pick up my kid and he wasn't there, I would think that the other parent possibly got them. So I'd be calling first the other kid's parent. Okay. I'd be calling the other people that I communicated with in terms of to arrange this whole drop-off pickup. But that could tell you that no way in hell, as a parent, do I think that I'm going to pick up my kid and that my kid is you know, being murdered. Someone says I would never drop my kids at a meth bridge. Well, so I don't. Think about it like this. Karen Reed case. Karen Reed's calling John. Why didn't Karen Reed call the police and say, hey, my boyfriend didn't come home. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I think something happened to him. He's never done this before. It's one thing, like, he can think, you'd be mad at me the other day, but I just think it happened really quick and then let's all be honest, there ain't no way I'm not searching. There's no way I'm gonna be in a house without my kid through the night. That's fine. If you guys don't want to be out here searching, my ass is gonna be out there searching. So that's fine. You guys can't have an official search, but you all can't keep me the fuck up out of here. So I'm gonna be out. There's no way I'm gonna be in a warm house when my kid isn't in a warm house, and I don't know where my kid is. It's just not fucking possible. So, I mean, the jurors are supposed to be going into this. All right. Richard Allen is innocent. You provide me with evidence for me to say that this man is the killer beyond a reasonable doubt. And if I think that there's another case out there that's as strong as Karen Reed's case, it's this case. This case is just as strong as Karen Reed's case on the word reasonable doubt. Okay? Karen Reed put herself at the crime scene. Richard Allen they both openly talked to authorities, or and then over time an emerging railroad job happened. Karen Reed had a little bad luck there and happened to, maybe you can look at it as bad luck or good luck, that the camera, at least on the ring, was able to catch her snipping his car. Okay. I think that's really good luck, but there's no evidence against Richard Allen. There's nothing. There's no evidence against Richard Allen. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So again, if there's a case out there that is equivalent to Karen Reed's with the whole, no way. There's not enough here. You're not nowhere close to proving your case. They want to say, oh, we thought that they were in the water. Well, then y'all should have been soaking wet looking in that water, going up and down and around it. I don't know. I just have a feeling those girls would have been found, and there's a pretty decent chance those girls would have been found sooner than they were. So I feel like it was if they were searching the way that they were searching. I'm surprised that it took them that long. If they were dead, everything was over by 3:30 or whatever. Because remember that timeline, just like in the Karen Reed cases, timelines everything. In the Richard Allen Delphi case, the timelines, everything, because there's only a small amount of window when they say that this crime happened and it could be him. Strongly goes against that timeline. Case puts a huge juggernaut in it, like to say, whoa, wait. But there's nothing against it. There's nothing there. We don't know what was found in his house. Of course, we don't know. I don't think that he had the two girls' items of clothing, okay, or something like that. That's what you would need for me to be going guilty with Richard Allen. You're going to need to tell me that this man had trophies in his house. Now that I watch YouTube all the time, I may think differently. So, I think it's going to be great as long as Gull doesn't limit the fact that the defense can ask. You most certainly can ask questions about the investigation. So let's talk about Ron Logan. Isn't it true that Ron Logan lied to you about where he was during the commission of this crime on his property? Yeah. Okay. Isn't it true that Ron Logan had an alibi witness lie for him as well during the commission of this crime on his property? Yeah. If you guys think that those questions aren't coming and can't come, those questions 100% can. And they're coming. Because then you're going to have to ask someone when they say, like, what's, someone's getting pulled over. Then the jury's going to be like, who's Ron Logan? Well, it's the property owner, right? Do you think that the state is going to be talking about who the property owner is of where the girls were found? Hell no. Hell no. So the defense is going to have to do a really good job of making sure that that's known. Well, Nikki's going to be as boring and as... Nikki's going to be like the PCA is. That's what we can expect from Nikki. Let's see. Just because they can't do third-party culpability, all right, doesn't mean that they can't talk about a person. I'm sorry, but that's asinine. Anybody putting that out there is asinine. You most certainly can ask about the investigation during a criminal trial if you're the defense team. How I would try to go about getting certain things in is if they put Kelsey on the stand in cross-examination, I'm asking Kelsey what she did after she found out that her sister wasn't answering her phone. Did she try to call her? Okay. What else did you do to try to locate your sister? Did you use social media at all? Did you message anybody? Were you messaging her friends on social media? Isn't it true that you told law enforcement about an account named Anthony Schatz? Let's talk about that a little bit. Because during cross-examination, that is not your case in chief. That's your cross-examination of the witness. It's their case, and you're putting holes in it like Swiss cheese, okay? And that can definitely come up. That's how you're gonna be able to get that in, okay? officers that went ahead and said, hey, you know, issued the whole PCA with Ron Logan. Why? You know, you clearly thought he was a person of interest, right? Okay, well, in your PCA, did you put that you found a bullet? Why didn't you put that in there? Weren't you trying to match that bullet to a gun? So it only became relevant 5-7 years later? Because the evidence doesn't change. Doesn't matter who you're going to write a PCA and going and getting stuff. Like, I think that's just absolutely crazy. Yeah, the unspent, exactly. There's an unknown phone. There's an unknown phone within 100 freaking yards of the crime scene. Give me a break. Like, whose phone is that? We don't know. So somebody just happened to be out there within that radius while the crime was being committed? More or less, yeah. Like, what? Come on, man. Thanks for taking us. You're welcome. Don't you want to see this beauty? Fort Wayne, 67 miles, y'all. Stop at the next exit. I'm gonna go into the nearest bar and say, howdy! What the fuck's up? You guys know anything about this Delphi case? Just coming through town. Serve you up one of them Jack Daniels. I'm gonna play some Shabuzi. What do we got? How else could you get? What do you want to get in? Oh, Anna Williams. That's how you get in Brad Holder and Logan Holder. Anna Williams. I can't wait for the question to come of, when did you get a phone call that your daughter was missing? Because that should have been the first phone call from the family of the Patties. To seeing if, I mean, did you pick up? Did somehow the girls call you? Did you pick them up? You know, these phone records, baby. Then we get to these, can't wait for Betsy, Sarah, all these witnesses. Okay, I would ask, if I was, I know it's risky as fuck, but you know what? I would say, is the guy that you saw that day, do you see him in the courtroom today? No. Is the guy that you saw on the day with 100% certainty, do you know is he in the courtroom today? Would you go for it? Would you do it? Would you ask that question? Depends on what information you have. I'd go for it. I don't think that those girls are going to say that that's the guy on the bridge. I think, well, they didn't see him technically on the bridge, but I would ask them if this was the sketch, who they met with, okay? And now, when you would have seen the PCA come out, did you see that? Were you amazed when you saw that they said that you saw somebody that was bloody? Oh my God, yeah, I couldn't believe it because I didn't see anybody that was bloody. Okay, so they got it wrong. Did you contact authorities? I tried. I told them. I also told them that the guy was definitely not 5'4". I mean, like, he was way taller than that. There's no way that he was that small. So does the defense come out swinging? You're like, Lana, you're just committing like absolute suicide by saying that. Why? If you don't think that they're gonna say, I mean, you think those girls are gonna say, yeah, it's absolutely, that's him? Well, if that was him, every time that you went to CD motherfucking S, why did you call the police and say, yo, I'm looking at the guy that I saw that day at the bridge. I'm here to get my fucking pictures, and this guy's still working, and I told y'all that this was him. So you went into CVS how many times you think over the past 5 or 6 years, and you saw this face every single time, and you didn't think to pick up the phone and call and say, yo, hello, he's here, he's still working. What was he, giving you free pictures to keep it quiet, huh, honey? What was this? Dang, I should have hooked up with, talked to them. What? Their questions or music gets played for Nation. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, there ain't no way that those people are gonna say on the stand that, yeah, that's the guy that we saw, because if that's the guy that y'all saw, you saw him every freaking time you went to CVS. What'd you do? Oh my God, we started going to Walgreens because we were so scared. Give me a break. So I asked Richard Allen how he felt about that, for us to ask that. Also, I think that you're gonna have you have your own work products. I'm sure those girls were deposed. Right. 100. Wait, what? Sorry. Bring me a Oh yeah, there's a pub. Oh yeah. These little podunk towns, I don't know how people do it. You sneeze, everybody knows about it. St. Mary's, home of the Rough Riders. Dead. We're moving, kids. We're gonna become some Rough Riders. JT's Brew Pub here. Oh, oh, stop, please. Nobody's.
Such a cool thing.
$3.98.
Oh, thank you so much. Home of the Rough Riders. Howdy, partner. Give me a tall glass of what? The police even went to CVS all the time. I know. Idiots. I'd ask them.
Here's that water for you.
Oh, thank you so much. DMX. Do you guys have any Rough Rider hoodies? Just curious. Bro, first time tuning in and I'm loving your vibe. You should imagine my bedroom. Stop, drop, shut them down. You guys, it's really I'm going to ask if they're selling hoodies. The Browns win. Can anybody give me a 401 on my Browns? Hi. Oh, yes, I did. I have a question. Do you guys sell Rough Rider hoodies?
Oh, we do not. I wish we did.
Oh, those would be so cool, right?
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you guys know anything about this Delphi case, the murder case in Indiana?
I have no idea. I haven't heard of it.
I was just, I'm going there to cover it, and I was just curious if people around here knew about it. Or,
Oh, wow. That's great.
yeah. How far is Fort Wayne from here? Like an hour?
Yeah, I'd say like hour 20.
Oh, wow. Okay, I got to pick it up.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate
Good
you.
luck with that.
Okay, thank you. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, they don't have any Rough Rider hoodies, guys. All right. Well, ladies at the coffee place, we love the people behind our coffee even more. They have no fucking clue about the Delphi case. And she has no clue about how far she is from Fort Wayne. Lana, there are no, well, I think hotels have bars. My hotel has bars. Just tell me they're not able to serve me a damn drink. I gotta deal with these brainless fucks. I gotta self-medicate. You guys, I'm totally, come on, I'm here to entertain you. Woo. My mom's is better. You guys, just for the record, I don't drink coffee. I drink Coca-Cola Classics to wake me up if I ever want to get woken up. I'm not a coffee person. People, when they come to visit me, they're like, can you just have coffee for us? I'm like, sure. It never happens. Right here, you can see the sign. Here, okay, St. Mary's, home of the Rough Riders. You guys see that right there? They are reigning motherfucking champs in everything. Okay? St. Mary's, and they name themselves the Rough Riders. I think that is fucking awesome. I want a hoodie. Make it happen. All right. I'm gonna sell my footage to Court TV for $1 million. So yeah, people over here, they have no idea about, we're gonna just ask many randoms as we can about the Delphi murder case. That broad, she's young. I don't know, I would have to describe her as having glasses, chubby face with brown, crimpy curly hair, glasses, and no older than 21. So I'm practicing for my jury selection questionnaires. Do me a favor, guys. Thumbs up the video or thumbs it down. You have an opinion. Make yourself fucking known. I hate when people watch something and they don't have an opinion on it. Use the comment section. Unless you are like absolutely ridiculous in the comment section, I don't delete it. So Here we go. Living on the edge. So remember, guys, Fort Wayne is where it's Allen County. That's where the courthouse is for the jury selection, because the jurors are coming out of Allen County. Then they're going to be bused to a hotel in Carroll County in Delphi. They're going to be sequestered, and trial is Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6 p.m. I think Judge Gall has lost her ever-loving mind. Let's see, if I wasn't on a camera right now, what would I be doing driving? Let's see. I'd be playing 80s, 70s, and 90s music, jamming out to, you know, something ridiculous like Nelly, Pimp Juice, I'd play a little P. Diddy. It's all about the victims, baby. What a fucking idiot. Oh, greedy people doing crimes. I want to listen to some DMX. My favorite DMX song is if it's on, then it's on. I think that's, I don't know. I don't even know what the name of it is. It's not like the Rough Riders Anthem, or it's Good Girls, Bad Boys, or Good Girls, Bad Boys, yeah, something like that. It's really, really not appropriate for anybody that can't handle cussing. And, I don't know. What else? If I was a juror, yeah, innocent until proven guilty. Once you provide me with that beyond a reasonable doubt evidence, it's, you're guilty, you know? This is one of those cases that I don't believe that this was done by one person. I think that the Franks was very, very, when I read that Franks, that first Franks is very, first of all, it was a masterpiece, amazing, 300 and some pages. But if that doesn't open up your eyes, you know, that this, the odds that this was done by one person and one person only, then I don't know what that means. People have let's see. I'll tell you about another case that's just total corruption. Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy's case. Not even a murder case. Somebody covering a murder case. Talk about covering a case and getting hit and railroaded because you're covering a case. Because God forbid your opinion is that people were involved that are witnesses, allegedly. Unbelievable. What does it say? Sarah Boone case. Just unbelievable case. I have to ask myself is, do I think that she forgot that she recorded the video of her doing that to her boyfriend? I mean, who willingly gets into a suitcase? I don't even know. I don't know how anybody fits like that. But that case is just like, my brain needs to be used for other things, but Shanna Gardner case is going to be off the chains. Another case, 100% corruption, and unfortunately, when that type of stuff happens, then the victims possibly don't get justice. And 2025, once the spring hits, it's literally some of the best law trials, criminal cases are coming to a jury in trial room near you. Donald Adelson's case totally just blew up again. Her complete defense team is just wiped out, gone. She's starting all over because they labeled it across the board conflict of interest completely with everybody. Start over. Curious if y'all better allow the defense to have their intern basically running the media stuff. I mean, if she says no to that, like that's another appealable thing, because you have us on this ridiculous time constraint, right? And that it takes more time. Everything takes time. But if you have somebody running your media to be able to get to those exhibits, put them up on the thing, you know. Speaking of which, Hector made this trip with me. Hector's like, when can I get out of the suitcase? Just chill, Hector, okay? It's just a little bit longer. I hope I'm going the right way. Thanks. Thanks, appreciate it. Okay. Woo! Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna decompress my brain here, and then we'll check out the setup when I touch down in about an hour, and we'll check out to see how it all looks around the courthouse, what kind of security we're going to be dealing with, where I can set up my tailgate. I brought the most ridiculous DJ equipment you've ever seen in your life. When I said I was tailgating for the truth, I just don't think people realize what that means. So if you're in the area, come on down. See you on the flip side, y'all. Gonna go pick up some meth.